Alright, I get it. Let's talk about skills. Ever since the inception of Duel Links back in 2016, skills have been an integral part of the game, whether that be Rex Raptor giving a slight attack boost to all his dinos, Reginald Castle adjusting levels for his rank 4 water monsters, or Zane Truesdale with his...
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night.
Skills have always been a fundamental part of what makes Duel Links Duel Links and separate it from its real-life counterpart, but at some point down the line it's clear Konami's design philosophy behind skills changed somewhere. It's pretty hard to know exactly where the tipping point was, but skills went from being about offering decks slight synergies and advantages to being the entire focus of most decks. The game went from being, I'm going to give my monsters a nice 300 attack boost, to... So why did this happen? Well, although Konami has never really mentioned anything about it, the reason is pretty clear. Power creep, which in Duel Links is a lot harder to manage than you might think. So it's pretty obvious that as time goes on in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it has progressively gotten stronger and stronger, and I'm not just talking about Duel Links. For the most part, cards released in 2007 are not going to be able to hold their own against cards released over 10 years later. But for Duel Links, this problem gets amplified a ton, because we're not just following the release schedule of the TCG, we are also, and primarily, an anime-based game. As stronger and more powerful art types are added, it becomes even more challenging for the anime art types to compete, which is obviously a problem as half the content in this game is based on character releases. There are plenty of straight up bad anime art types, and it would suck for Konami to release a character and for them to be completely and utterly worthless, because their art type is just bad. Like, imagine if every character released was like Sherry. This game would be complete arse. Which is where skills come in. In order for a deck like Perform Mage to exist in the same realm as Sky Striker, skills had to be a major factor, and a much bigger factor than they've ever been in the past. It's why a deck like Tachyon managed to be the most game-warping archetype in Duel Links history, but the second it lost its skill, it fell off a cliff. Winning with that deck now feels about as hard as trying to keep Drake away from a school. If skills aren't hard carrying these archetypes and characters, then they will never see play. So the question is this actually a problem? Well, the answer is no, but with a little bit of a yes. Like everything, there's always going to be pros and cons. The main pro I've basically already listed. It allows for anime decks and art types that never really got to shine when they were just cardboard to be relevant and even top tier. It allows for characters that otherwise would be completely forgotten about to actually serve a purpose outside of just being walking gem banks. It guarantees the format will be different from the TCG, with no formats being the same and new matchups that would never have seen the light of day to become a reality. Watching TCG players' reactions when you tell them that Gandora or Blackluster Soldier were actually top tier meta decks is still really funny to me. But now we get to the big underlying con that I hear the most. Skills have led to an increase in linear gameplay. Because a lot of these skills play around certain ace or iconic monsters like Blue Eyes, Yubel, BLS, etc., it can lead to quite a lot of duels feeling samey or scripted, as obviously the goal of these skills is for you to summon just those monsters, with some skills being so powerful they basically play the deck for you. Having only 1-2 decisions max to make in a turn when playing something as glue-eatingly brain dead as Glue Bell can make the game feel a little stale. But honestly, this isn't as big of a problem as you might believe. I personally prefer skills encouraging you to summon art-type specific boss monsters rather than having a Master Duel situation of every single deck trying its absolute hardest to summon Baron or Apollosa. almost all decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have optimal end fields they will try to make every single game, regardless of if skills existed or not. That's just how modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Typically works. But at least in Duel Links, those end fields are different between each deck, which in itself leads to a lot of variety between games just by watching how different art types interact and attempt to play through one another. I also think that it's pretty clear that super linear skills are generally a minority. There'll probably always be at least one Glue Eyes or Glue Bell in most metas, but most skills, whilst providing a massive power boost, still leave plenty of room for choices to be made. One of the decks I saw's complaint thrown towards the most on its release was TG, thanks to its very linear turn 1 setup, basically forcing you to summon Halberd Cannon due to the skill's limitation. Which is true, but going second with this deck, it's far from the case, and has led to tons of deck building choices around what are the best cards to run in the extra deck to crack through different fields. Skills are an important part of what makes Duel Links Duel Links, and in order for skills to remain relevant, they have to keep up with the same level of power creep that the rest of the game is going through. In order for characters to remain a big feature of the game, skills boosting the shit out of otherwise dog water anime decks is just going to be a requirement moving forward, and I personally don't feel like it's as big of a deal as some of my comment section seems to think. As long as the game is diverse, with plenty of choices to be made each game, I don't really care what boss monsters are being summoned, except for maybe floodgates, but that's definitely a subject for a different video. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this little discussion video. What do you think? Is there actually a huge problem? Is everyone overreacting? Let me know your thoughts down below. And remember, if you did enjoy this video and think you might want to see some more stuff from me, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.
Deity's animation? Is that the one that I was talking shit about? There ain't no way that's the one that has the animation. That was the one I was talking shit about, right? There's no way this has an animation. You're lying. There's no way they gave it to the one card nobody cares about. Oh my fucking god. That would not surprise me. Look at the preview bar. Oh my god, no way. I'm gonna trigger. Haha, good one. Good one. Yeah, nice one. Good joke. Alright, moving on. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm not gonna talk shit about a single card for the rest of my life. Never again. Never again am I gonna talk a single word about a bad card. Ever again. Not happening.